All right. Right, I've got to try and put this together seamlessly. And yeah, so I'll go through what I did. I didn't get around to uploading that video yesterday, and I've been with my dad all day today, so I didn't get the chance. So everything was still in the shopping bags. So I've got the receipt there. It wasn't a massive shop from B&M Bargains, but there is going to be a few other things that I'm going to talk about as well, just to make it just a little bit more interesting, you know? So I'll go through what I bought, and then we'll go through some other stuff. I've just used the last of my sage tea from my garden up, because I wanted the jar for something else, which I'll go into in a minute. Highly recommend you get one of these. One of you lovely lot bought me that, and you don't get any bits. There's no bits that goes into your tea, you know. All healthy stuff, good stuff. So I've topped up on more paracetamol. When I had a cut between that finger and my little pinky whilst I was washing a glass out, and I didn't realise the glass had cut, and I sliced straight through it. So I had to get stitches in between those two fingers, which was awkward, but they pulled it off, and I was given paracetamol, a couple of paracetamol as a painkiller. Obviously, they did a local anaesthetic, you know. I'm not that hardcore. So again, we've gone through the whole ghee thing, and how important ghee is, and how long it lasts when you just stick it away for years and years and years, potentially decades and decades. But the more variety you've got with your fats and your oils, the better. You know, your body loves it. Your body loves variety, especially if it's natural. Not none of this processed shit like that, for example, and that. So I got 4 beef dripping. I've already got one in the fridge, and the date is the end of 2027. So if you look at lard, I know it's a different type of fat, again, just as important. Lard, it can be frozen, it can be kept in the fridge for way past the best before date. Do your own research. That's impressive, you know, and it's not that expensive, and it's another type of fat. So I got 4 of them. I got 4 more coconut oil, again for your oil pulling. I'm going to go into teeth again shortly. Just a few little tips, but I've had feedback from people that have been pulling oil, you know, with coconut oil. Once you get used to how to do it, it does have an effect. It can help to rebuild your enamel, protect your teeth from cavities. If you've got really sensitive teeth like I have, like most people have, it will help to reduce that if you do it regularly enough. It will, not might. So 4 more of them. I've got loads of coconut oil, which will last for, again, in my opinion, decades unopened. Canned salmon. I mean, it says wild Pacific on there. I mean, I can't imagine some bloke on a little one-man fishing vessel line catching the salmon that's in that can. But it is still really, really, really good for you. It's not my cup of tea, but something that people need to remember, in my opinion, is that things like salmon, at least for a while, are going to be seen as very, very posh things to have. And coffee. I've got a list. I'll do a little list of what I think is going to make for very, very interesting bartering, just trading items. You know, you could probably get 3 meals, like a big massive bag of pasta, a bag of rice and something else. People will be snapping stuff like that up, and it wasn't that expensive. Again, I'll show you the receipt in a minute. Then you've got these little protein pots that are called protein pots. The Princess ones do seem to have a higher amount of beef in them than the others. Some of them have only got like 25-30% in there of beef. What the hell's that all about? In this, it's 35%, which again has gone down. It's gone down. Shrinkflation, you see even more when you start to look at the ingredients lists. So I've got 4 of them. These are like the next size up from the ones that I bought from Farm Foods, so almost twice the size. So cooking one of them to save fuel, just one of them can be split between 2 people. Those smaller ones, I'm not sharing one of them with anyone. I could eat 10 of them to myself. This was on special offer. I don't know why I bought this crap. I can make my own pasta sauce. I can make my own white wine and cream sauce as well, but I can't make white wine and cream sauce that's going to last for years outside of a fridge. So I've got 2 of them because you don't see them around very much. I've gone for some nighttime panty liners, nighttime ones, because I haven't got any nighttime ones and I like to have a little bit of variety. And they're maxi, like heavy, and please do not use them anywhere near turtles. I've got some coarse Mediterranean salt. There is benefits in buying both fine and coarse. Please look into it. And this is just a little present for my mother-in-law. She's going to get hammered on Christmas. She likes a gin, woman's ruin. But there's no way any one of those 3 bottles is going to be able to beat that, which she's getting as well. So I bought some long hour burn candles, a pack of 30 8-hour candles, and then some cheap ones, a pack of 70. I do prefer the ones that stack in trays because you can put them in places like your loft. So even when it gets really hot up there, all your candles melt, or a lot of them, but then they reset again. As long as you don't nudge them whilst they're wet, they'll just reset into exactly the same position they were in before. So it's just an added storage solution. I can't put stuff like this up there. I'd end up with a bag of mess, you know, one big giant mess of a candle. And I didn't actually put those in my basket. The woman that stunk of weed to the left of me must have put them on my side by mistake, maybe expecting me to buy them for her. Who knows? But I've got them now, and I'm just glad there's no steak and kidney in there because I don't like eating, you know, organs. It's not my thing. Right, what else was I going to talk about? I am currently in the process of getting everything I need together to make my own colloidal silver. Now, if you Google is colloidal silver good for my teeth? Is colloidal silver good for the pH balance of my mouth? It's just going to say no. You know, the FDA, don't do it. When in actual fact, colloidal silver is... let me just give you a little bit of history and then I'll carry on. So colloidal silver was used before antibiotics were discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. Now, I was thinking, I wonder if he was funded by the Rockefeller Institution. So I did a little bit of a Google, and it was like, no. But later on he was. I'm thinking, yeah, of course he was. You know? So colloidal silver, again, is going back. It's going back. She's where we need to be going. All of this stuff, we need to be going back as much as we possibly can. So yeah, Google's so full of shit. and it's so full of shit on so many other little searches I put in there. I had to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to find better sources of information, because Google, again, this is why I get so angry at people that take payment from Google. But that's just me. I just see it as absolutely fucking immoral, considering the damage that they've done, especially over the last 5-6 years. Anyway, so I'm getting into this was one of my good coins. But you have to excuse the wanker on the back there, which is why I'm using this particular coin. And then I've got a silver bar as well. They both need cleaning up, but they are both solid silver, solid. And so colloidal silver is antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. It can help to prevent all of those and treat all of those infections. It's also antimicrobial. Yeah, the FDA in America is pretty anti-colloidal silver. I wonder why. It's anti-colloidal silver because it doesn't want you to go back. It doesn't want you to go back. It wants to keep you sick. Filling you full of fucking chemicals and poisons. And I'm not saying all of it is poisonous. I'm just saying, nature is always best, in my opinion. Now, apparently there is something called Argyria, which is excessive silver, and it can also, you need to look into whether or not silver can interact with any medications that you're on as well. Just little things to take into account, That's all. Now, if you go to a mirror and stick your tongue out and it's all kind of whitish, believe it or not, that's yeast. That's fungus. Your tongue's a perfect breeding ground for fungus. It's warm and moist. And so obviously colloidal silver it will sort that out, because you're not meant to have loads of yeast on your tongue. Now, I did a pH test of my saliva. That's that little yellow strip in the middle there. And that was my mouth. Which I would say is, 7? Between 6 and 7? I'd say 7. And that is absolutely spot on. But you can also check your pH balance of your body by buying one of these little kits. They're not expensive. This one's from China, but it has worked. It has been accurate. You can also test your urine. But if you're going to test the pH balance of your mouth, you need to do it before you've had a cup of tea. You need to do it before you've had a drink of water. Just make sure it's the first thing you do. And you'll find that your pH balance is quite high. Which is why it's recommended that you actually brush your teeth before you have your breakfast. Believe it or not. Right, where else was I? Oh, let me just go through how much all the food cost first. I paid cash with the Farm Foods one. I paid on card for this because it wasn't planned. Yeah, you don't really get much. 55 quid. But it's all really, really important stuff. A lot of it. Things you can do to help with your pH balance of your mouth. On top of colloidal silver, in my opinion. That's the oral solution. Okay, so you can just rinse your mouth out. But I am going to be making my own. Loads of videos on how to do it. Veg and legumes, you know, beans are good. Drinking less alcohol, less sugar, and less artificial sweeteners as well. Apart from xylitol. So xylitol should really be the only artificial sweetener that you buy. You can buy gums. I have shown this. Pierre. And that's got xylitol in there. It's not cheap, but you do get quite a lot of mints in there. Also, don't floss your teeth as much, because you don't know if you're being too rigorous. And each one, you know, it's like cotton, you know, so you're just wearing away at the gum in between your teeth. You can buy floss toothbrushes, so the bristles are different lengths. You're way better off with something like that. And as for teeth whitening, I've had to write notes down because I'll be all over the place otherwise. I feel like I am a little bit already. Oh yeah, colloidal silver for dogs as well. So the three main uses, you just need to look into how much and how to apply. There's a very quite camp but very good vet that's got his own channel on YouTube. If I remember, I'll link it to this video in the comments section at the top. And that can help with bacterial infections, teeth health, ear infections, so antifungal, anti-yeast. Yeah, for dogs. So, but just look into the right dosages. And the longer that you leave your silver to brew, if you like, because you need electricity, 3 hours tops is pretty much the cut-off point, really. You don't need it any stronger than that. And all you need to do is attach some copper. Again, copper. The copper will be going in this instead of just silver. So attach copper to that coin, copper to that bar, and then attach each one of the strands of copper. So I was just charging this up, so to one of those terminals, and then submerge the coin, submerge the bar, attach to each copper strand, and then attach each strand of the copper to this. But these do need cleaning first. And I've got something that's really good for that. As far as whitening your teeth, if you want to whiten your teeth, 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. You can use charcoal. Charcoal does work, but it's very messy, you know. And if you're halfway through cleaning your teeth with charcoal and you get a knock on the door, right, and it's someone all smiley and you end up smiling back with black teeth, you know, it's not going to be pleasant for them. 3% hydrogen peroxide, food grade, has to be food grade, mixed with bicarbonate of soda, which I've just bought a 5 kilo tub of. Now, to clean silver, to get this spotless, because it has to be spotlessly clean before I use it to make colloidal silver. Now, I've still got a stain on there from when I used an acid test to see what colour a proper silver coin came up with against one of those fake ones that I showed in a very short video. So I need to get rid of that. And this is quite gross as well, you know, but it is real. So I need to clean both of them, and all you need to do is just make a little pot of aluminium foil. It's one of its few uses. Make a little pot like that, and pour some bicarbonate of soda in there. Then put your coins in there. Then pour red hot water straight from the kettle into that aluminium foil pot, and then pour more bicarbonate soda of soda on top of the coins, and just leave them for about 10 minutes. Once you've took them out, they'll be like you've just bought them, like they've just come out of the mint. I think that's about it. Oh no, got one more thing. Yeah, so that's why I've used up the rest of my sage, because I'm going to be using that jar. I'll find another jar to dehydrate some more sage, because I do like sage tea, and I do post it off to someone that's lovely and appreciates it as well. So I know that I've shown you my mantis before. It's a right little beauty. Gorgeous. 250 yards per second. Now, these are what I use for practice because they're cheap and cheerful. It's all plastic. This middle bit's reinforced plastic, but it's still plastic, apart from the tip, the metal tip. And then I use these for special occasions. They've got more weight to them, so you're not going to get as much travel, but you'll get a lot more damage, because these are they're alloy, right? So you can notice that there is a difference in weight. And then these came through today. Ready for it? Look at that bastard. 100% legal. And you know, and that's just a little flick of the wrist. It took 15 minutes to try and prize one of these out of my shed door, and that's wood. If that was flesh, you know, if you're going hunting, if that was flesh, it's going to go all the way in up to the flight. And good luck to anyone squeamish trying to pull that back out of an animal with those ridges there. So, not meaning to end this video on a dark subject, but all I'm seeing are stupid, backwards fuckwits doing damage to my fellow countrymen and women and kids and dogs. So prep up, you know. This shouldn't be all one-sided. We're British. We've got brains and brawn. Much love and ciao for now.